Hello. Um, Today is the Thursday of the first week of Ordinary Time, um, and great readings as always. We begin. Sorry if this is distracting. He actually comes up in today's reflection, so I thought he could stay on my lap. Our first reading, the Holy Spirit says, "Oh, that today you would hear His voice, harden not your hearts." And we jump down to the responsorial psalm today. If today you hear His voice, harden not your hearts. Both of those grab my attention for what seemed like obvious reasons today. It's I had an experience earlier this morning where I took Tyson out to a nature preserve, and no one really goes there. Rarely do I. It was supposed to be one that doesn't have a lot of foot traffic, and in the pandemic time, I tend to look for those. I get out and I get them situated, and we start walking, and we get a mile into the hike, and I see these two women with their dog. And harden not your heart, like I'm instinctively, and it's not that I'm unkind, it's the world we live in. I think many of us have the experience that I'll describe, which is in that moment, I only see my mask is in the car. I totally forgot just because I didn't think, and they're not wearing them either, and it's narrow. And lo and behold, and he's small, he's 8.6 pounds, he's tiny, and they're like, oh my God, and right away, like that immediate, like, defensive, like, they were so kind, and so sweet, and wanted to know more information about him, and had suggestions on for a new puppy, and it was very sweet, and it was very kind, and there was this moment where that I sat down, an hour later, and looked at the reading, and I think, yeah, like that's for me today what hardening my heart looks like. It's in our world today when I'm looking around and I'm judgmental, or I am nervous about something, and instead of just being instinctively and reflexively kind, I think, as our faith calls us to, I'm guarded, and I am I'm guarded, and I think of those two women today who greeted me with such kindness, and immediately I did lower my guard, and we kept distance, and they kept distance, but there were, conversation and all that kind of stuff, and I think for me, it's one of those things that today's readings, the reading and the responsorial psalm, certainly remind me that our faith calls us to be gentle, to be kind, to be soft, to be to not harden our hearts in all the areas. Whether it's in COVID, or if it's just, I think for some of us, it's in the office. For some of us, it's in family gatherings. It's wherever you find it in your life. I think we all have our own places where we're guarded, and we have our armor on, and our hearts are hard. And today we're reminded that no matter where we go, our faith calls us to be to carry ourselves a certain way, and to be aware of the opportunity to find God in one another, and to be that presence to one another as well. So I hope he has not been too distracting. He was sleeping when he first came onto my lap. I hope all of you are well, and and find that area of your life today where you can be especially kind. Have a wonderful day, and I will hopefully see many of you soon.